Distinguished guests, university colleagues, industry and community partners, families and friends, and most importantly, those of you who are graduating today. As a reflection of this institution's recognition of the deep history and culture of this land, the University of Tasmania wishes to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'm delighted to be with you to participate in this ceremony, particularly as over the last year, as you all know, having important celebrations such as graduations has not been easy and at times even impossible. I'm especially pleased to welcome those of you who graduated in 2020 and were not able to participate in a ceremony last year. Thank you for your patience. As Chancellors, I've sorely missed not being able to gather in person for these moments as we are today. In that spirit, I'd like to take a moment to reflect. For each of you graduating and for your family and friends, this moment will mean different things. I would like to start by acknowledging that the past year has been difficult. As a university community, while we have faced great challenges, there has also been a great to celebrate here today. Amidst all of the challenge and uncertainty, there are countless stories of courage, resilience, care and tenacity. That is what this university community is all about. It is part of our identity, and today is the moment to celebrate those stories and all of our people. I would encourage you to think about your story and the personal qualities you have drawn on as you have navigated this past year. Whatever that looks or feels like for you, hold on to it because it will help you in your next stage. That exposure of living and working through adverse circumstances will serve you well because often that's what life is about. As Chancellor, I will in a moment admit you to your degrees or award you with your diplomas on behalf of the University of Tasmania. This is the actual moment of your graduation. Before that, though, the Chair of the Academic Senate, on behalf of the academic staff, will acknowledge that you, the graduands, are qualified to be admitted to your degrees or award your diplomas. The Academic Senate is the present-day equivalent of the ancient guilds who insisted that they be the ones to verify that appropriate standards had been met. So it wasn't the church or the state, it was the group of academics that certified courses and assessed when people had met appropriate standards. The Chair of the Academic Senate performs that function today. As the ceremony concludes today, you will join us in processing from the room a public recognition of your status as graduates and diplomats. This is the tradition and the formality of graduation. You graduate today from a university deeply committed to the places and the people where we're based. While this extends beyond the island of Tasmania, our island identity is evident in all that we do. From our islands, we have developed innovative courses delivered in New South Wales. It is our unique Tasmanian approach and our close connection to you that has allowed us to develop these courses for the advancement of professionals, and particularly those in the health sector. These are courses that we have been delighted to see many of you participate in. Being a place-based university, we're attentive to the needs and challenges of the communities we are a part of. Though you did not study on the island, you each now have a connection to Tasmania. I encourage you to keep that connection alive with your connection to the communities that you are part of here in New South Wales and the university more broadly. Wherever you find yourself, I encourage you to bring the same kind of thinking that guides us as a university. Thinking that is grounded in care and respect for the places and people we're amongst. I hope that you will be our ally as we go about our mission as a university. We need you to bring your knowledge and skills to the communities that you're a part of. The challenges we now face and those of the future are the kinds of challenges where we need to take a collective approach. We all have an important role to play. As we do that, each of you can be exemplars for what higher education can unlock for people and the positive change it can enable, not only for you, but for those around you. It is you to whom we now look to lead, to imagine, and to shape our future. Remember your time on the university's campuses with fondness and cherish the connections that you've made and the relationships you've developed. Hold on to the moments that are meaningful to you. I hope that you'll never lose the thirst for knowledge that is the true outcome of higher education. I encourage you to continue to apply the skills of analysis and inquiry that you have learned in the courses of your studies to seek balance and clarity in the issues and problems that you will face. These attributes are in many ways more important than the content of the courses you have undertaken. The university's motto is Ingenious Patuit Campus, which translates to the field is open to talent. It captures our spirit, our belief in the talents of every person and their ability to make a contribution to their communities. Today is your day, a day for celebration of your achievements and a parting reflection with your fellow graduates at your time at the University of Tasmania. You should all feel justly proud of what you've achieved and see that pride reflected in all of us here with you today. Let me offer a special congratulations to you all. You, our graduates, now have the talent, skills and expertise. I hope that you will all embrace the next stage of your life journey committed to creating a better future. It is now my pleasure to invite Professor Melanie Lorva to present the graduation address. Professor Lorva has worked in higher education for over 15 years within 2 universities and spanning 6 campuses across Australia, including her most recent role as Associate Professor of Nursing and Associate Dean Learning Futures and Strategic Engagement in Charles Darwin University's College of Nursery and Midwifery. With a deep understanding and insight into the importance of place and community, Professor Lorva is passionate about delivering education to people where they live and work, and she views this as imperative to address equity and access, particularly in rural and remote areas. Professor Lorva joined the university in December last year as Associate Dean, New South Wales Campuses and Deputy Head of the School of Nursing. I now invite Professor Lorva to give the graduation address.
Welcome to parents, family, friends, our industry partners who guide and support our students along the way with industry experience and fantastic relevant career experiences on their path to becoming graduates. But most of all, welcome to you, our graduands. As the Associate Dean of the New South Wales campuses, I feel incredibly privileged to be giving this address today, and I'm filled with a great sense of pride and optimism for the future as I look out into this audience. On behalf of the College of Health and Medicine, the College of Business and Economics, the College of Sciences and Engineering, the College of Arts, Law and Education, and Graduate Research, I would like to congratulate our graduands on the completion of their studies in what has truly been an extraordinary time. We are all extremely proud of the incredible efforts employed by each and every one of you throughout your studies. Your determination, your diligence to your chosen area of expertise in health and health management, engineering, the sacrifices you have made along the way have paved the way for you to be here enjoying today's incredible celebrations. The experiences, skills, and knowledge acquired throughout your studies at the University of Tasmania equip you for the challenges that will lie ahead. So today, I want to share with you a few of my core values and concepts, I guess, that I've adopted during my life and my career that have underpinned and continue to guide what I affectionately like to call my unbridled optimism for life and career. First, and I guess most importantly, remember always to trust yourself as your own authority. Show kindness and respect for others and unconditional regard. Embrace opportunities, and I'll come back to that one because that's the magic thing. Grab every opportunity that's afforded to you in this life. Be open to possibilities. Be really kind to yourself. Employ self-respect always, and remember along the way to just stop and breathe. These things have served me incredibly well in my personal and my professional life. I come back to them often, and I encourage you to also reflect on your core values, your core concepts that guide you in life, and keep them at your centre as you navigate this new journey throughout your career. Furthermore, my best advice, never stop learning. It's out there for the taking. Read everything, and when you think you've done reading, read some more. Exercise humility in absolutely everything you do, and grab every single opportunity. I said I'd come back to this one. If there's an opportunity, take it. Run at it with full speed. Do things that will enrich your life and your experience. Things that might scare you a little bit, might push you to the edge of that comfort zone. And I can tell you from experience that being true to yourself and that impressing yourself is far more valuable than spending your time trying to impress other people. When you leave today's ceremony as graduates, you will join your university's alumni community. This community stretches across Australia and all across the world, provides you a network for future connections and broadens new horizons. Recognition today must also be given to your friends, to your family, and to other support networks who've supported you throughout your studies, throughout your endeavours, but also to the many university staff, lecturers, tutors, professional staff, mentors, who all strove to ensure your success. Congratulations again on your achievement. It's a big one. Today is your day, and I wish you the absolute best for your future endeavours and your career development. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Professor Lorva. I think part of your speech was throwing out a challenge, really. You put forward your 4 base values. I wonder how many students graduating here today have got their 4 or 5 that are going to guide them through their career. Because if they haven't, They might be just bobbing down, up and down in the ocean without having clear direction. So I want to thank you, first of all, for presenting what your guiding principles are. Secondly, I want to thank you for the manner in which you delivered the speech, because it was one of optimism and commitment that shows your level of commitment to your professionalism and, I might say, your preparedness in the past to pursue that professionalism in areas that others have not been prepared to pursue. So I thank you for that as well. And I lastly want to wish you all the best for your role now, because undoubtedly you've got much more to contribute in the future. And I'd like, as a sign of encouragement by the graduating students, for your contribution thus far to show their appreciation. I've got carried away, I've lost my place. I now call on the Chair of Academic Senate, Professor Natalie Brown, to present candidates for degrees and diplomas.
I call upon candidates to stand. Chancellor, I commend to you the candidates whose names are listed in the conferral list before you for admission to the degrees and for the award of the diplomas shown. They have completed all requirements for their awards to the satisfaction of Academic Senate.
By virtue of the authority vested in my office, I admit you and the candidates in absentia, as listed in the conferral list before me, to the degrees and award the diplomas for which you and they have qualified.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the new graduates and diplomates. Graduates and diplomates, please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates and diplomates will now be presented to you.
I now call upon Professor Lisa Fletcher, representing the Executive Dean of the College of Arts, Law and Education, to present graduates and diplomats of that college.
Chancellor, for the award of the Diploma of Family History, I present to you Karen Elizabeth Breckenridge. Antonia Cartambas. Roslyn Wilger Vaughan. Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present to you Kelsey Jane McNamara. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates and diplomates from the College of Arts, Law and Education.
I now call upon Associate Professor Stuart Crispin, the Executive Dean of the College of Business and Economics, to present graduates and diplomats at that college.
Chancellor, For the award of Graduate Certificate in Health Service Management, I present to you Monisha Calistro. Eddie Heng. Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Health Information Management, I present to you Diana Thusen-Bui. Jasmine Halavi. Gayatria Jayasilan. Zoe Karampour Gavanage. Carmen Lee. Eunice Gek Ying Ong. Asma Payra. Min Dat Michael Quach. Pinky Sophie Rajdev. Tyler Harrison Young. Chancellor, for the degree of Master Health Service Management, I present to you Krinya Lee Bellier. Lachlan James Buddle. Marcel Therese Buxton. Giuseppina Campesi. Michaela Christie. Michelle Joanne Dowd. Megan Elizabeth Elder. Luke Anthony Frio. Marissa Grace Fuller. Bradley Hillier. Teresa Lai. Olivia Marie Martin. Matilda Meehan. Tobias Alexander Niven. Tharaka Hansamili Nagadawa Vizanaj. Theodore Panagopoulos. Rachel Helen Prince. Heather Mary Shaw. Alan Ning Fung Su. Yi Yun Sun. Min Jiat Teng. Louise Trelaw. Catherine Wong. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates and diplomates from the College of Business and Economics.
I now call upon Ms Susan Avis, representing the Executive Dean of the College of Health and Medicine, to present graduates and diplomates in that college.
Thank you. Chancellor, award of the Diploma of Dementia Care, I present to you Patrick Anthony Gorman. Lai Fu Gray. Virginia Robin Keed. Zena Irene Orisha Savalaga. Chancellor, I present to you for the Associate Degree in Health and Community Care, Michelle Kelly Klein. Thank you. Moses Chot Neok. Thank you. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Dementia Care, Catherine Mary Lyle Glass. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree Bachelor of Nursing, Ijatu Barry. Jamie McLeod Campbell. Daniel Michael Crawford. Kazi Mohammed Toyaya Hassan. Thank you. Kamal Raj Mikan. Thank you. Mark Arthur Roluski. Vezigama Siso. Kylie Tumaola. Thank you. Thalia Yukijo. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Paramedic Practice, Gariphalis William Agiomamitis. Tariq Amin. Corey Alvin Anderson. Georgia Catherine Beatrice Appleton. Tess Elizabeth Applin. Jordan Awad. Jake Harrison Baxter. Shane Anthony Bellamy. Eleni Badukas. Montserrat Blair. Joanne Mary Bowen. Liam Alexander Braid. Sophie Alice Busen. Mary Josephine Byrne. Neri Grace Chadwick. Leah Simone Church. Elizabeth Mary Coe. Madison Taylor Connors. Isabel Alice Cohen. Jessica Louise Quello. Angus Thomas Joseph Dalton. Timothy Joshua Doan. Zoe Elise Foreman. Patrick Timothy Gibbons. Hamish Oliver Glassick Warren. Nicholas Glover. Holly Madison Gordon. Kirsty Graveski. Noelle Dominique Halbier. Emma Catherine Halfpenny. Heidi Christina Halm. Emmy Ruby Hannigan. Joel Michael Harnett. Joseph Daniel Hutting. Taylor Haynes. Reese Healy. Emily Hill. Nathan William Hoffman. Andy Olivia Illich. David William King. Melanie Kyle Robinson. Joshua Douglas Lawson. Thomas Tony Lee. Cara Elise Lowe. Thomas William Lowe. Jonathan Lynch. Courtney Lee Lyons. Sarah Jane Martin. Amy Louise McCammon. Tiana Marie Alice Mehmet. Caitlin Lee Hartley McKillowitz. Alana Lauren Miles. Hussein Mitwery. Alexandra Jane Monk. Kai Moore. Rianne Louise Morgan. Reuben Morrison Greet. Jessica Ellen Muscat. Ricky Newton. Nita Nodia. Thomas O'Brien. Mia Rebecca O'Reilly. Kayla Oates. Max William Outred. Blair Pagan. Nicholas Anthony Payton. Grace Bethany Parola. Amy Audrey Quirk. Brittany Rard. Emily Raybone. Emma Jane Siemens. Laura Grace Searson. Lawrence Edward Shaw. Amy Lee Simon. Amy Ann Suter. Hamza Swazer. Grace Famlaksa. Matthew Carl Temperley. Julie Terry. Chloe Jade Van Dam. Lachlan Alexander Ward. Colin Adrian Warren. Richard Joseph Wesson. Ashley Kiara Whitford. Alyssa Jane Willianto. Lynette Windsor. Isabel Zhu. Songen Jung. Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the Graduate Certificate in Addiction Studies for Health Professionals, Astans Pavia. Vijay Prakash. Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the Graduate Certificate in Evidence-Based Complementary Medicines, Kylie Bernuth. Thank you. Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the Graduate Diploma of Clinical Pharmacy, Marina Coulter. Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the Graduate Diploma of Nursing in Cardiovascular Nursing, Beliyu Faisa Belis. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of, hold on, we might go, Beach to Buoy. I'm sorry. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates and diplomates from the College of Health and Medicine.
I now call upon Professor Brian Yates, the Executive Dean of the College of Sciences and Engineering, to present graduates and diplomats in that college.
Chancellor, for the award of the Diploma of Engineering Infrastructure Rail, I present to you Khalid Azhar. Jonathan Charles Barnes. Jonathan Dibble. Connor Stephen Dunn. Warwick John Garth. Louise Ann Gillespie. Bojan Hudsik. Giuseppe La Sorsa. Stephen James Lawrence. David Lawrence Lee. Benjamin Muscat. Jane Ellen No. Thank you. Paul Padman. Thank you. Samuel Roots. Ali Shahi. Xiaodan Sun. Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science, Marine Engineering, I present to you Martin Bredmose Pedersen. And Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of diplomates and graduates from the College of Sciences and Engineering.
I now call upon Professor Natalie Brown, representing the Dean of Graduate Research, to present those graduates who qualified for research high degrees in graduate research.
Chancellor, along with teaching, research is one of the major activities of the University of Tasmania. The university is ranked among the top research-intensive universities within Australia, and the strength and diversity of our research is reflected in our consistent world-class performance across a breadth of disciplines. Our higher degree graduate research students make a significant contribution to our research activities through the generation of new knowledge, through analysis, innovation and insight, using state-of-the-art research facilities and a truly multidisciplinary approach. Through the application of that knowledge, our research students contribute to the solution of real-world problems and to the improvement of our communities and citizens' well-being. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present the new Research High Degree candidate to you. Chancellor, you have admitted Unju Kim to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Kim contributed to autonomous underwater vehicle navigation by estimating the ocean currents and improving the guidance system. She found the non-linear observers and the path-following guidance is an effective combination to estimate and compensate the ocean current. Chancellor, Dr. Unju Kim. Chancellor, you have admitted Susanna Nashkova to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Nashkova evaluated the approaches to protecting trade secrets in the United States, the United Kingdom and Australia. She found that significant differences exist in the way trade secrets are protected under these regimes, which affect negatively their cross-border transfer, and proposed a model law to be used for elaboration of an internationally binding treaty to remedy this issue. Chancellor, Dr. Susanna Nashkova. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from graduate research.
It is now my pleasure to introduce you to Reuben Morrison Greet, who graduated this afternoon with a Bachelor of Paramedic Practice. Reuben will now give the valedictory address on behalf of the cohort of students graduating today.
Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honoured to speak on the behalf of my cohort today. Despite this, when I sat down to write this speech, I couldn't help but feel like I'd conned myself into writing one more final essay. And just like some of my essays, this speech will start strong, finish strong, and the middle might sound suspiciously like it was written the night before. Knowledge is not the filling of a vessel, but the kindling of a flame. When I started this degree, I was under the impression that all I would learn about was pre-hospital medicine. However, as I'm sure most of us can attest to, our future as graduates is owed to something much greater. Standing here today, the insight and knowledge I have gained over the past 2 years is far richer than anything I can attempt to describe in a single speech. Our higher education has granted us a privileged position in our communities, a position that demands from us integrity, respect, and compassion. The abilities that we have learnt will enable us in our careers to leave an impact, not only for our patients, but their families, within ourselves, and greater society. We now have the power to elicit change, whether intervening with life-saving treatments, to further evidence-based practice in our field, or simply to hold someone's hand in a moment of silence. This degree has taught me the ability to empower and advocate for our patients, the skills required to deliver quality interventions to the public, and most importantly, the dedication it takes to commute from Sydney to Tasmania 3 times a week. Dedication, a word that I cannot stress enough, encompasses the attitude of this cohort over the past 2 years. And for that, I dedicate this speech to you. I dedicate this speech to the UTAS community, to the campus staff, the lecturers, the tutors, and most importantly, the students. This speech is for the lifelong friendships that have formed, the relentless questions asked, and the constant laughter shared. The most valuable lessons I have learned at UTAS have come not simply from the curriculum, but from the diverse group of people I have had the utmost pleasure of meeting. Units come and go, best practice is constantly changing, campuses will get upgraded, but the memories I have made with the people sitting here before me will last me a lifetime. I wish to extend this dedication to our individual communities, the families, partners, and those who believed in us and supported us when we needed it most. I dedicate this speech to those who struggled, for those who have missed deadlines, failed units, and for those whose best was at times not enough. This speech is for those who, sitting amongst us today, faced insurmountable challenges to get here. I speak for all of us when I say that 2020 had tested us in ways none of us could truly have prepared for, but will forever remain as a testament to the resilience and unwavering spirit of this cohort. I would like to take this moment to reflect on the family members, relationships, patients, and even students of this cohort who started this journey alongside us, however, sadly, are no longer with us today. These people are far from forgotten, forever embedded within us and our journeys. I dedicate this speech to Charles Hugh. Finally, I dedicate this speech to the future. Today marks the first day of the rest of our lives, and as we move forward and another day comes, the memories of the University of Tasmania will eventually fade. They will be replaced with memories of future friendships, careers, and ambitions. Be kind to yourselves and seek confidence in knowing that you can only try your best. Armed of integrity, kindness, and the Australian Resuscitation Council guidelines, leave here today and embrace tomorrow, whatever tomorrow may hold, because a path of no obstacles leads to nowhere. So with that, all the best for the future, and congratulations, graduating class of 2021.
Well, Ruben, I don't have to say much because the graduates and families have already said it for me. But I'd like to ask you a question. Is that a quote you use that university study isn't filling a vessel, but it's lighting a flame?
If this was an essay, there should be a citation there.
Because, well, I was going to ask you to whether I could borrow it, because it's a great, well, as it is a quote. But thank you for your speech, and thank you in the manner in which you delivered it, because it did impress all of us, and I think that you've given us a lot to think about, and I think you've given all the graduates reason to feel hopeful and optimistic about their future, and for that reason I want us to join again and thank Ruben for his address. I now call upon Associate Professor Stuart Crispin, representing the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Tasmania, to present Sharon Lee White for admission to the degree of Doctor of Medicine honoris causa. I nearly went on.
The University Council is empowered to confer honorary degrees on people who, in the opinion of the Council, have given outstanding service to the state or the university, and has elected to bestow this honour on Sharon White for her substantial contribution and outstanding service to the University of Tasmania and the New South Wales Ambulance Service in paramedic education and clinical practice. Dr White has been a leading force behind the flexible delivery of education in clinical practice across all areas of New South Wales Ambulance for the last 31 years. She started very early. In her position as a clinical specialist, Dr White has excelled as a leader, mentor and counsellor for New South Wales Ambulance staff and has used her diverse employment history in metropolitan rural clinical education settings to further enhance New South Wales Ambulance. Dr White developed new educational governance structures and achieved this through an educator's guide on the development of educational methodologies for adults in workplaces. Dr White has focused on developing simulation activities for volunteer and community first responders, VCFRs, and implemented these activities statewide. Dr White's individual work led to the development of the Extreme 2 model of simulation exercises. As Dr White has advanced distance education and flexible education methodologies for paramedics and VCFRs, this has also supported macro simulation activities and the expansion of regional training packages. Through her extensive experience in debriefing paramedics after critical incidents, Dr White developed and created a debriefing model for the use in simulation practice. This debriefing tool, SHARP-P, is used in operational and educational debriefings and includes facilitation and multi-agency health debriefs and formalised report outcomes to major disaster exercises. The new educational governance structure and educational methodologies, including simulation debriefing models, were the focus of Dr White's PhD research, where she facilitated 123 educational workshops throughout rural New South Wales, involving over 1,000 participants, completing pre and post evaluation using validated tools between 2012 and 2014. Dr White has excelled in curriculum development, in particular for her work on projects such as mandatory training for paramedics, the initiative for Between the Flags study guides for paramedics, and as a team leader for the Certificate to Practice curriculum. Her voluntary work has extended to Papua New Guinea, with her teaching and on-road clinical mentoring of St John Ambulance paramedics. This included involvement in a major international airport exercise, testing their emergency plans and assessing its capability. Dr White facilitated the debriefing process, providing guidance, support and assisting the deployment of paramedics as first responders in a major incident. Dr White has also undertaken voluntary work in British Columbia in Canada to extend her competencies in educational practice with the Justice Institute. Through her active involvement with other health, ambulance and emergency service organisations across Australia and internationally, Dr White is a skilled authority on simulation activities, online learning methods, virtual student learning, teamwork and meeting learning expectations. Dr White's dedication to providing excellence in care is commensurate with the vision and core values of New South Wales Ambulance and goes above and beyond the expectations of the service. Her efforts and achievements are also well aligned with the University's aims of educating health professionals and researchers with capabilities in leadership and future-focused healthcare to help drive transformation of health outcomes in Tasmania and beyond. Chancellor, I present to you Dr Sharon Lee White, who has been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Medicine's honoris causa.
Good afternoon. Just a little bit nervous. Chancellor, members of the university, graduates, diplomats, family and friends, thank you. Thank you, that gave me a really good head start, I appreciate that. Thank you for this very great honour that you bestow on me today, for which I am grateful beyond words, as you could clearly tell when I started. Thank you to the members of the UTAS community for the great honour you pay me today, and thank you to the University of Tasmania for the formal dress that you have given to me. Thank you to the paramedic graduates here today and all other graduates. You are taking paramedicine to the highest standard of education and clinical practice through your education at the University of Tasmania. In my home office, which is about 6 hours north of here, I have 2 pictures on my wall of my great-grandparents, Mr. William Howe, a St John's ambulance volunteer in Parramatta in 1926, and his wife, Mrs. Constance Howe, née Moody, also a St John's ambulance volunteer. And I hope they have joined me here today in acceptance of my award, and congratulations to you for your achievements, something they would never have imagined as first aid volunteers so long ago. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, in 1972 or 3, good, I'm glad you laughed, that's good. I remember writing a note and sticking it to the inside of one of the kitchen cupboards, where it remained until my parents sold their house in 1994. And the note said, "Please keep this medicine cupboard tidy. By order, Sharon Lee White, PhD." No one in my family had ever been to university. It wasn't even a consideration for any child in my immediate or extended family. And there I was, 7 or 8, writing this note and sticking it on the lower left-hand side inside cupboard shelf door. Then there are so many things that I recall from that time in my life, but none of them include a discourse with PhDs delving into their insights of phenomenology and epistemological developments and concepts of learning. My research commenced in 2012, involving quite a lot of volunteers. I'm not going to read that paragraph out because it was already read out before, so I'll just move on. But before I do, can I give credit to all the paramedics that helped with the simulations and their acting in scenarios? Not really great. Just saying. In February 2017, I received a cancer diagnosis with a prognosis of 6 to 9 months. I stand here today defying the odds. When I think about my life experiences so far, I've come to realise that on many occasions I have beaten the odds. And now I'm learning to live my life and find my true self. Because nothing in life is promised, and as paramedics we know this. My life was something that was just happening to me, and I just rolled along doing whatever came along. I hope, as a paramedic, I was able to make the difference in at least one person's life. So if you believe working as a paramedic is your dream job, your nirvana, I applaud you, because you have decided to give each and every patient and their circumstances your undivided attention, free of judgment, to alleviate their suffering. So here's 3 things that I think are important for paramedics. 1, always treat others with respect in all that you do. Remember that others have dreams too. 2, your dream job is somebody else's dream job. Refer to point 1. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it, because it will never feel good. Be gracious and demonstrate. Be kind and considerate and conscientious, so when you face the world each day, you are gracious and you demonstrate a distinguished demeanour. Again, to the university, thank you. I am honoured and humbled by the generosity of the university, and I'm truly grateful to receive this award today. Thank you.
Well, it shows you inspiration can go down the generations. And now Dr. White is an exemplary person who's benefited from that and has passed it on to many others through her work. So that just about ends the ceremony, and I'd like to take the time to encourage each of you to acknowledge the contribution of friends and family who've supported you on your path to graduation today, helping out when things were tough and celebrating your successes. In so many ways, graduation is a collective achievement. It really matters to have a moment to be with and to acknowledge all of the people that have been part of your journey. I now invite graduates to stand and turn and express your gratitude to those who have supported you with a round of applause. Thank you. Please be seated. As you celebrate your graduation today, you join a vibrant global family of over 130,000 graduates who have taken this precious University of Tasmania experience to all continents around the world and across more than 120 countries. Remember that you are not leaving the university. As an alumni of the university, you've joined what is a very special university community. You are all now members of our extended university family, and I do hope that you will keep in touch. All graduation ceremonies represent a very special moment. However, after the challenges of the last 14 months, being here with you all today could not be more important or more heartwarming, not only for me, but for many of people I've talked to between ceremonies, because this one has the same feeling as the earlier one, and it is one of a real celebration of your achievements and probably of coming to the end of what's been a very difficult time. So it's been, I think, a great ceremony for that reason. So enjoy the day with your family and friends, and I ask you to stand while the procession retires and invite you to follow us. Thank you very much.